Someone interfered. The ghost-faced general. Translator, Atlas Studios editor, Atlas Studios. Before anyone could see how she moved, they saw that the maidservant was already lying on the ground with a swollen face. She was also looking at the old man who had hit her in disbelief. It was as if she did not expect this person to hit someone at the slightest disagreement. Under everyone's gazes, Shinijia took a few steps forward and looked down at Kai-yun. If not for me, not to mention how many people your horse would have killed, you might have died too. I haven't asked you to give me money to save my life, but you're blaming me first, she thought. As soon as she spoke, everyone was shocked. How could this be a woman? Their hearts trembled and they scattered, not daring to watch anymore. Shinijia looked at the onlooker who did not dare to turn around and pick up her shoes because she had walked too quickly. She was stunned for a moment. She was not a ferocious beast. Was she that terrifying? Kai-yun also recognized his voice. She struggled to stand up while Shinijia was distracted. She pointed at Shinijia. How dare you hit me? You're so shameless that you only know how to freeload. Kai-yun, shut up. Everything had happened too quickly just now, and Lu Piapiao's mind was still buzzing. At this moment, she had just woken up when she heard this. She usually had a good temper, but she was furious. She had always known that Kai-yun was a little arrogant, especially since the Lu family had been praised by the citizens of Xuanyang City recently. Her thoughts became even more complicated. After all, they had grown up together. As long as Kai-yun did not go overboard, Piao would tolerate it. At most, she would reprimand her verbally. Putting aside the last sentence, she could even say such ungrateful words to the person who had just saved her. If she made a mistake in the future, she would probably be the first person to avoid her. Miss. This was the first time Lu Piao had been so strict with her. Kai-yun's face turned pale. At the same time, she felt a little aggrieved. She was telling the truth. Moreover, these horses were so precious. Lu Piao made up her mind not to look at her. She felt a little embarrassed. She was afraid that Shinijia would remember what Kai-yun had said about freeloading. How would the two of them interact in the future? She stepped forward and did not dare to look Shinijia in the eye. Sister Jejia, I'm sorry. This girl doesn't know what to say. I won't let her off easily when we get back. Miss. Kai-yun was shocked. How could her miss apologize to someone so humbly? She did not take the punishment Lu Piao mentioned to heart. Their master-servant relationship of more than 10 years could not compare to a person who had only known her for less than 2 months. If you still acknowledge me as your mistress, apologize. Lu Piao's voice suddenly became stern and resolute. Kai-yun gritted her teeth and bowed to Shinijia reluctantly. I'm sorry. Shinijia crossed her arms and rolled her eyes. She turned to look at Lu Piao. Are you all right? Why did the horse get startled? Seeing that Shinijia's attitude towards her had not changed, Lu Piao heaved a sigh of relief. At the same time, her face fell. I went to look for you when the snow stopped. I heard that you were not at home, so I could only return to the residence. I didn't expect my coachman to suddenly have a stomachache halfway, so I stopped the carriage by the roadside. For some reason, the horse went crazy as soon as the coachman got out of the carriage. Someone tampered with the horse. Before Shinijia could speak, a sudden voice sounded. Lu Piao blushed when she saw who it was. Shinijia did not notice Lu Piao's abnormality. She looked in the direction Qian Yud was pointing at and saw a red on the side of the horse. "What's this?" Shin Ejia asked. Qian Yud said proudly, "If I'm not wrong, someone must have stabbed something here." The horse naturally went crazy from the pain. "Miss, you'd better send someone to capture that coachman quickly. We'll know when we ask." He looked at Lu Piao and said the last sentence. If not for the fact that she had a good character and was not as rude as that maidservant, he would not have said anything. Of course, the main reason was that Shinejia seemed to be on good terms with this person. When Lu Piao heard this, she understood that someone wanted to harm her. Ignoring her shyness, she hurriedly thanked him and hired a few commoners to help send the horses and carriage home. Shinejia did not join in on the fun. Firstly, this was their family matter. Secondly, it was because of Kai Yun's words. Since Lu Piao's personal maidservant had said so, the others probably looked at her the same way. Even though it was the truth, she still felt embarrassed. Shin Ejia blushed. She finally understood what her beautiful husband meant by giving the Lu family a gift. Looking at Lu Piao, who left in a daze in the direction the crowd, Qian Yu suddenly muttered, "I didn't expect there to be such a fat woman." Shinejia immediately rolled her eyes and turned to walk home. She said, "You make it sound like you've never gained weight." A smile flashed across Qian Yu's eyes, and he quickly followed. "That was in the past. Haven't I lost weight now? Look, all those young ladies will blush when they see me." As he spoke, he even winked at a woman who was looking at him with infatuation. The woman immediately covered her face and ran away. Shin Ejia was speechless. The two of them teased each other and forgot about the incident just now. Mo Yuan followed behind and looked back in the direction Kai Yun had left. Killing intent flashed across her eyes. While Song Jingchen found out about the Wu Kingdom, a group of people rode into the border town of the Wu Kingdom. The passers-by avoided them. Their town was the only way to the capital. Such things often happened. Everyone was used to it. However, this time, there were still people discussing it. It was because the leader was the ghost-faced general, also widely known as the war god of the Wu Kingdom. The ghost-faced general was the adopted son of their country-guarding general, General Yan Guangmao. He went to the battlefield at the age of 15 and was only a young adult now. No one had seen his face before. The only thing they could recognize was the green fong mask he wore. Therefore, everyone called him the Ghost-Faced General. It was rumored that the Ghost-Faced General's face was ruined by a fire when he was young, so he did not show his true face. At first, no one believed these rumors, until it was rumored that a woman who admired the Ghost-Faced General had bribed her servants to hide in his room. After seeing him take off his mask, everyone had no choice but to believe the rumors that the Ghost-Faced General was disfigured. However, the Ghost-Faced General was brave and good at fighting. He had led troops to win many battles and defended the border of the Wu Kingdom. Did something happen in the capital? Why is the general going back? It had to be known that ever since he came to the border, the Ghost-Faced General had not returned to the capital for several years. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Previous chapter. Next chapter. The sickly scion's petite wife is sweet and cool. Chapter 288 Dead. The sickly scion's petite wife is sweet and cool. Chapter 288 Dead. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Play. Volume 00:00/00:44. Truvid. Chapter 288 Dead. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. The border of the Wu Kingdom had been peaceful for so many years because of the ghost-faced general. There was no news at all. Who knows what happened with the higher-ups? It has nothing to do with us. I know. I have a distant relative who just returned from the capital a while ago. He said that the situation in our Wu Kingdom might change. The person who spoke lowered his voice and pointed at the sky. As soon as he finished speaking, the others gasped and stopped talking. Ghostface and the others passed through the town and met someone who was also riding towards them. When the man saw them from afar, he quickly stopped his horse and shouted, "Young General." Grimace waved his hand to stop the people behind him. Only the people around his adoptive father would call him that. "How's foster father?" he asked coldly. General Yin suffered from an assassination attempt and is still unconscious. Moreover, His Majesty is critically ill. Everyone understood what he meant. Once the Emperor fell, those princes would definitely not be able to sit still. At that time, there would be another bloodbath. Most importantly, General Yin had always supported the Crown Prince. Now that he was assassinated, it made people think deeply. The most important thing now is that nothing can happen to foster father. Ghostface tightened his grip on the reins and galloped out on his horse. However, at that very moment, all of this was too much of a coincidence. At night, a figure went out of the back door of the Shen residence and disappeared into the night. Soon, another person walked out and followed the person in front of him from afar. He only returned the way he came when he saw the person enter the Lu residence. After hearing Cao Zhen's report, Song Yingchen frowned. Did Emma Yuan really have ulterior motives? However, what did it have to do with the Lu family? According to his investigation, the Lu family